Leadership is a subject which has been discussed across the globe when there is a crisis in leadership, whether it is political, spiritual, or any other leadership which is connected with certain qualities of a good leader. Before you get into what is leadership, it will be better for us to understand what makes a good leader. Let's make it very, very simple by looking at certain qualities of a good leader. When you're looking at a leader, what we are actually expecting out of a leader is a very interesting phenomenon to look at. We look at great leaders who are capable of delivering certain value in the system and to his or her followers. The first one is sincerity. The second one, the serenity in which he deals with people, absence of vanity, simplicity and veracity, equanimity, adaptability, humility, tenacity, integrity, and generosity as well. Finally, we look at magnanimity of a leader, coupled with capability to deliver the vision of the team. These things actually make a successful leader. Leadership is all about scanning the environment around and within to make others believe in your vision and make others to take part in the journey of the bigger vision. When I look at the definition of leadership, it was interesting to look at certain aspects of a good leader. There may be types of leaders we talk about based on the behavioral patterns. There may be theories related to leadership. But what we are really looking at is 5 major types of leadership. We talk about autocratic leader, authoritative leader, a laissez-faire and transactional leaders, and participative leaders, transformational leaders, and in the current generation, it's all about situational leadership based on behavioral patterns. If the world is moving towards situation and circumstances, then these leaders have to survive in chaos and come out successfully. So, I'm making it quite simple for those management graduates who are interested in looking at leadership as a subject of interest. Programs, books, blueprints only teach theory. Great leaders guide, coach, and mentor a team to realize a team's vision and realize the full potential of all the team members. A great leader never interrupts others nor finishes their sentences but wait for his turn to share his views. So if you look at successful leadership, we always talk about people who leverage very many competencies on their path to excellence. Most of them, you would have seen, are embedded in them and triggered at an appropriate time for a success story. They sow seeds for the success in the future when they fail in the current mission. So they plan in advance and focus on what matters. They don't sweat on small things. They have larger perspective of the situation and the picture in mind. So when you talk about leadership, what is really lacking in today's leadership is also an interesting thing to look at. Most of the time, learning means to managing training programs. So when we talk about situational leadership, today we misunderstand the leadership for situations, money, people, Possibly they manage trouble. Yes, they're all very important. But understand one thing. If I need to manage 1,000 people, and if I am a leader, first of all, I must understand whether I am able to manage myself, this body. If I can't manage myself, how do I expect others to follow me? So it is an interesting topic to discuss when you are looking at leadership. Leadership in terms of managing thousands of minds and capable of delivering the results. That's going to be a challenging one indeed. In today's world, if the leaders are just by chance and they just manage things by chance, if you manage situation by chance, then you will always be stressed and you will be anxious, you will be agitated. So it is interesting and important to note, a good leader must move away from anxiety and stress. That's what he is also going to teach his followers in terms of coming out and facing the challenges. Significant aspect of leadership is ignored these days. There are some medical evidences. The people who are anxious, who are agitated, they will not be able to deliver 100%. So when I talked about the qualities of a good leader, you must match and see whether these things are ingrained in them. That's what is going to make a huge difference of leadership. That means we are coming to the basic things of nature. If you want to be a good leader, then you must be happy, you must be peaceful, you must be blissful. Because if you are not able to correlate and manage the body and mind, they will never work 100% and you will not be productive. And success is all dependent on what extent you can harness body and mind. It doesn't matter what activity you are in and what type of leader you are. If you are not able to harness the body and mind, then we are talking about something which is not related to leadership. The fundamental body and mind principle, when it is in the state of pleasantness, then the productivity is high. I always think something very interesting in today's world is many of the corporate leaders take a vacation of a week or a fortnight to come back, recharge, so that they can be better productive. Understand one thing, if the vacation is the only occasion where they're going to deliver the best, then they can't be leaders. And can you think of a single day which happened the way you wanted? Probably you will not be able to see even a single day where things happen the way you wanted. That means leadership is not really working there. There's something wrong in terms of how it is going to be managed at your end, managing people. So, I come to the basic nature again. Mind should take instruction from you. Mind should not take instruction from an instrument. For example, now you're recording this video. If the camera is going to take the instruction not from me, then it's just an instrument. So is the mind. So if you look at leaders who are successful are not instruments. And you will also observe that they give instructions to the mind and the mind works. So coming to the basic principle again, we have the small body when we are born, and we have accumulated to this extent as of now. Look at me, I'm an adult, grown up, fine. But You must know what you are. A leader must know what he is or she is. And if you think what you are, and if others think otherwise, then you need to do self-introspection. I still remember a story which was quoted by one of the saints and spiritual guru. Two cows were grazing in an English meadow, and the one cow asked the other, what is this mad cow disease? What is your view on the mad cow disease? The other cow responded, I don't care what about it, because I'm a helicopter. So the cow thinks that it is a helicopter, then there is a problem in thinking process. The same way, we apply the same thing in our daily life. We get excited when somebody appreciates, and they say, you've done a great job, and you're awesome, and you deliver the best. I've not seen a person like you. Then we go back home, and your family members remind you of what you are. Then you see a huge gap between your friends who actually appreciated you, gave you all these labels, and made you actually a great man. But you must know what you are. So leadership also begins with a basic premise to know what you are and what your capabilities are and what your limitations are. When you talk about human beings, many a time the great leaders say, I'm a great human. Understand one thing, if you are talking about human, then we are talking about limitations. A leader is going to travel beyond limitations, and he is going to look at possibilities and whether he can manifest his capability and give the immensity of what he has got in him, and he can drive others to deliver the best. That reflects true leadership. We'll be talking about and comparing leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and also Hitler. And people talk about great things of Mahatma Gandhi. I do agree with them. Yes, Mahatma Gandhi was always for truth, non-violence, discipline, and Hitler was an autocratic leader. Hitler was also troubling people. He always believed only in his vision, and he never worked for the team. But the common thing between these two leaders I see is both of them were actually threat leaders, in the sense that Mahatma Gandhi actually went on Satyagraha and told the people, their great followers, millions of followers for Mahatma Gandhi, but if this is not done, then I will kill myself. And when you look at Hitler, he said, if this is not done, I'll kill you. So the basic difference is this, but the way they looked at it and the way they delivered were entirely different. And when you look at the types of leaders, what the world wants from a leadership is something different for every geography. And coming back to the corporate leaders, we talk about leaders like Ratan Tata and in India, and we talk about Steve Jobs, who is known for a lot of things in terms of how to deliver, how to believe in innovations, and also driving force, and he had the fire in the belly to bring in great things to the world, and he always dreamt of something which was possible to do it. Whereas you can see some other leader who is not as innovative as the former Apple CEO Steve Jobs. But the fact remains, all the leaders have something in common, and That is, one is capability and their ability to deliver at crunch situation, and they're able to overcome all the situation and chaos. So this is my first video on leadership, and you'll wait and watch the rest of the things when I get into many other facets of leadership. Thank you very much.